Hello everyone, welcome back to PyNet Labs. My name is Chirag and today in this video we are learning about the protocol NETCONF. So NETCONF stands for Network Configuration Protocol and it's something that you should know if you are preparing for devnet associate. So if you are someone who is looking forward to devnet associate exam or maybe someone who wants to level up their network automation skills, then this video is for you. In this video, we are first of all going to learn how to enable NetConf services on a device, and then we'll be writing a script using a library called NC client to fetch or retrieve the running configuration from the router. So let's get started. Let's see what all things are there related to NetConf that we should know. The very first thing is understanding what is NetConf.
If you enjoyed the content of the video, don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe to our channel.
So the very first question is, what is NetConf? So NetConf is a protocol that gives us the ability of interacting with network devices in a method where we are using a data structuring language, where the exchange of data is happening in a structurized manner. Now, this structurized data can be understood by your PC also and can be used further for parsing it to some other type of data or for using it further for making more automation scripts. Other than that, it uses data modeling language Yang, which allows us to ensure that we are following a data model when we are making configs, which does verification and ensures that there is no mistake or there is no misconfig which gets executed on the device. So let's learn about all these three things one by one. The very first thing to know is that NetConf only works with certain operating systems, which includes iOS XE, iOS XR, and NXOS devices. So it has to be either iOS XE device, iOS XR device, or NXOS devices. Only these devices are capable or compatible with the protocol NetConf. Then, once you have got a device which, let's say, is from one of these operating systems, and you want to manage it or configure it using NetConf, then again there are three things that you need to ensure you have ready with you, or at least you are aware of them. The very first thing related to NetConf that you must know is the transportation protocol. Second thing that you must know is the data structuring language which NetConf uses. And the third thing that you must know is the data modeling language. So first thing, the transportation, it uses SSH, secure shell. It uses SSH for transportation on port number 830. So not the default port number, but a specific port number 830 is used for creating NetConf connections. Data structuring language that NetConf uses is XML, which stands for Extensible Markup Language. We'll talk more about it in detail in the video today. Then we have data modeling language, Yang, which is used for writing data models, which are further used for verifying if the data sent to the device is correct or not. The topology that we are going to follow is going to be a router connecting to a Windows jump host, and this router is going to be an iOS XE device. So we are using Cisco's CSR 1000V, which is an iOS XE based device. On this router, first we will enable NetConf, and then using the management PC, which is this Windows machine, I'll be fetching the running configuration from this device. So we'll see and understand how that goes, right? So let's understand the script first. We'll fetch the running configuration from the device in the form of XML, and then I'll make you learn about the syntax of XML and how it is beneficial to us. So let's get started. Let me share my other screen. So here I have kept a CSR router up and ready for being managed with NetConf, and these are the commands that you need to run on the device for enabling the NetConf services and SSH on your router. I'll take the access of my router and see what's the current state of configuration. Okay, it's a fresh router, so let's do the configuration together. I'll take the access of my router and we'll put all these configuration commands on it. Very first thing that we need to do is we need to put a management IP address. So enable config t, and I'm going to use an IP from the subnet 10.255.1.0 as in my lab setup that allows me to create a connection between my EVNG device and my Windows machine. So I'm going to put an IP on interface gig1 as IP 10.255.1.101/24. No shutdown, exit. After setting the IP, I'll check the reachability to the IP address from my Windows machine. So I'll go to my command prompt and I'll try to ping this IP that I have on my router. Let's take the access and say ping 10.255.1.101. And as I'm getting the replies, this confirms that the connectivity is there. So I can continue further and can configure SSH on my router. So I'll set host name as R1, domain name as, let's say, abc.com. Then I'm going to create a username admin with a privilege level 15 and password as Cisco. Then I'll create a crypto key generate RSA general keys modulus 1024 bits. Once that is also done, I'll proceed towards configuring the virtual lines line VTY 0 space 4, login local, transport input all, exit. That's the basic IP and SSH configuration that we have done on our iOS XE device. Now, in order to enable NetConf services on this device, we have two more commands, netconf-yang and netconf space SSH. These two additional commands will ensure that NetConf services are enabled on iOS XE device. Once all of that is done, we are good to proceed. So I'll go to my VS Code and I'll create a new file here. We'll name it as netconf.py. And in this file, I will need the library NCClient to interact with my router over the protocol NetConf. So the very first step is to install the library, for which I will go to the terminal and I will type down python-m pip install and the library name NCClient. So let's see. As I already have the library in my setup, that's why it says requirement already satisfied. But in your case, when you will be doing it for the first time, it's going to install the library in your setup. Once the library is successfully installed, I will call that in my script by saying from NCClient import manager. Manager is the module that will allow us to connect with the router over NetConf. Then I will also call getPass from getPass import getPass to collect the username and password in a header manner, right? So first of all, the very first thing that I require is the credentials, right? So I'm going to ask my user about username, input bracket, enter your username. Next, I'll ask about the password. Password is equals to getPass bracket, enter your password. Then I'll specify the router details for creating a NetConf connection with my router. So inside router details, I need to specify the host address, which in my case is 10.255.1.101. Next, I'll specify the username, which is the variable CSR_username. Then password, which is the variable CSR_password. Then port number, which is 830. Like I told you guys, it creates a connectivity over the port number 830. So 830. And then we will disable the SSL verification by saying host key verify as false. Let's create the connectivity with the router. So I'll say netconf is equals to manager.connect bracket and call the router dictionary, which is router underscore details. Once the connectivity is established, I would like to print netconf connection was created successfully. After creating a connection, my task is to fetch out the running configuration from the router. For this, I will use an operation called get operation. So there are two ways how you can fetch something from your router. There is an operation called get operation, which we use for operational data. And then we have get config, which we use for configurational data. So right now, because we aim to fetch out the running configuration, which is a configurational data, I should be using get config. So I'll say running underscore configs is equals to netconf get config bracket and specify that the source of the information is going to be running data studio. Then I can tell it to print running configurations. That's all. My script is ready, which is going to fetch out the running configuration from the device. And that running configuration is going to be in the form of XML. So let's try to run the script and see the results. I will put my username admin, password Cisco, connection established, and we can see a lot many tags. You see, XML, guys, is very much similar to HTML, and I'm sure in your college days you must have worked with HTML. So HTML is something that is not very much extensible, or you can say flexible. But XML is a better version of it, which is more extensible, more flexible, and can be more human readable, right? So XML is the way how we interact when we are using the protocol netconf, and this is the XML data. But guys, let's be honest, this is not readable at all, right? This current state of data is called deserialized data. It is currently raw data, which is not something which can be easily understood or read, right? So how can I convert it into serialized form? We can do that using the library XML. So I will call this saying from xml.dom.minidom. I want to import parse string. This function parse string can be used for converting your deserialized XML data into serialized XML data. So I'll say pretty underscore XML is equals to parse string bracket. I want to convert the running configs from XML to pretty XML. Something like this. This line will convert it into serialized form. Then I can say print pretty XML. And now if I run that script again, I'll enter my username admin, password Cisco. And you can see now this data is serialized. That means it is well indented, neat and clean, and is more human readable, right? We can read this information easily. Let me give you a quick overview of the syntax also. You can see there are so many tags here, right? Every aspect of your running configuration is defined in tags. The very first line that we have here is called prologue. Prologue is an optional tag. It just tells you about the version of the XML which is being used. That's all. Then there are opening tags, there are closing tags, and then there are empty tags also. So let's understand them one by one. RPC reply, this whole thing is an opening tag. Data, this is also an opening tag. Inside data, now because of the indentation, we can understand that RPC reply is the parent tag and data is the child to it. Similarly, native, this tag is a child to data. This is also opening tag. Then we have version 16.9. That's my value. And then you see the same tag version with a forward slash in the beginning. This is your closing tag. This tag basically closes at the end when your value is specified. Similarly, we have a boot start marker, but there is a forward slash at the end of it, not in the beginning. See, this was my opening tag where there is no slash, right? Then I have a closing tag where there is a slash in the beginning. But this type of tag is called empty tag. For those tags for which you don't have any value, you use an empty tag. An empty tag basically opens and closes in the same tag. So this is the self-closing tag or empty tag that we have, which is about boot start marker. Similarly, we have an empty tag for boot end marker. And then further also you can read the information. You can continue to scroll and see. We have an opening tag for name where we have the username admin. Then we have a closing tag. We have privilege, we have password, and all the running configuration basically is defined in this format, which is understood by the PCs. So many of you must be wondering that what does it helps with, right? This data currently that we have in front of us, this can be understood by my PC. This is also something that you can use further in other tools to make your further automation procedures. Maybe you want to, let's say, create a script that goes on to the router, checks the interface states, and then probably implement certain configuration on the basis of current state. So that is something doable when you are using NetConf, as your PC can understand and read that data, but not in the form of CLI, correct? So that's where these data modeling language, data structuring language, all these things get into picture and can help you in making sure that your automation script is capable of handling complex executions and configurations. So yeah, definitely there is much more to explore in NetConf, and we do that in our trainings. So if you are interested to get into devnet program or learn the network automation, then you can definitely look forward to exploring such concepts and getting maybe enroll yourself into the training. Thank you so much. My name is Chirag, and I hope you liked the video. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you so much. We'll see you in some other video. Till then, take care and keep learning.